There you go. So we'll start by elongating the spine in child's pose and having a little bit of rest. Just getting nice and grounded and relaxed to start with. So let's just have the knees about hip distance apart, probably a bit wider actually, just to allow for the room for us to slide down, slide the hands away and let the head relax on the ground. So ideally we want our bottoms to be on the heels, but it's more important that your head is relaxing. So if your head's not on the ground, either get a cushion or a block, and if your bottom has to lift up a little bit, it doesn't matter. So we're elongating the spine and just relaxing the nervous system, having a nice calm down at the end of the day. So slowing the breath down, deepening the breath. As we inhale, feel the ribs open three-dimensionally, as wide as we can to the sides of the room, into the back and all the way up into the neck. On the base of the exhale, through the nose, gently squeeze the abdominals. We'll just have a minute or so here. So let's now take the hands over to the right, taking the head with it, so the head's still in between the arms. Just open the left side of the ribs. So inhale into the left side, really feel them open into the sides of the room. And let's move over to the left. So same thing, feel the inhale going into the right side. And back to centre. Can we slide the hands just a little bit further away while keeping the head relaxed? So walk the hands forward to really stretch through the sides of the back, through the obliques. Next exhale, we're going to come all the way up into thunderbolt, so knees together. And let's bring the hands clasped in front of us, pushing the heels of the thumbs together and keeping the elbows nicely close into the chest. And let's just circle the hands, trying to just keep the movement from the wrists only. A nice flow. Let's change direction. And change again. And change one last time. So we're going to keep all the joints nice and mobile. Stop us getting old or aging. Let's drop the hands to the thighs. If kneeling becomes too uncomfortable, just lengthen your legs out in front. I know sometimes people get pins and needles. So relaxing the hands, keep the chest open, the shoulders down. Let's roll the head. So drop the chin to the chest, over the left shoulder and to the right. And all the way around. So nice big range of movement. And change direction. And head to centre. Let's widen the arms and twist. So up to the ceiling with the palms to the back of the room. Ceiling and back of the room. So keeping them nice and high. So you want your wrists in line with the shoulders. And release. Let's reach up alternately, keeping the arms running alongside the ears. Taking the rib cage nice and high, keeping the shoulders down the back. Want to keep that nice posture. Just twice more on each side. Can we reach higher? And slide the hands up into tabletop. So knees under hips and wrists under shoulders. Spread the hands, make sure you're nice and grounded, and cat-cow. So inhale as we drop the hips and lift the head. Exhale as we round, pushing through the arms and tightening the abdominals. So inhale down, taking that sternum high, and exhale up. So keep going in your own time, work with the breath. So if you remember, we exhale as we drop the head, and we inhale as we lift. So twice more in each direction. And back to neutral spine. So if you can see yourself on your screen, you can check that you're nicely aligned. So we're going to move the hips. So let's take the right leg back. And we're going to bring the knee out and up to the side, into the elbow or chest and back. So side, chest and back. Twice more, as high as we can. Hold it out on the last one and change direction. So into the chest first, out to the side and back. So chest, side and back. Twice more. And hold, let's raise the left arm. So we're creating a nice line from the tips of the right toes to the tips of the left fingers. So we're reaching with the left hand, pointing that right toe away, face parallel to the ground and breathe. Nice deep cleansing breaths. And we're going to swap sides. Left leg back, So the knee out to the side first, into the chest and back. Side, chest and back. Twice more. So really lift the knee as high as you can. Let's pause on the last one and change direction. So into the chest, out to the side and back. Chest, side and back. Twice more. Hold, right arm stretched out. Reach in with that hand, pointing the toes away. And release down. We'll come back to thunderbolt. So knees together. And we're going to reach up into prayer, so palms touching. So really open that chest. We float the arms down. Back to child's pose. Stub the toes. And downward. So feel into your downward. If you need to pedal even, your feet, do so. Sway the head, the hips, whatever feels good. So we're pushing the chest towards the thighs. I'll keep the fingers forward and the thumbs towards each other. That'll keep the back broad. Let's a nice flow into upward. So bend that back. That'll feel nice if you've sat all day. Keeping the chest high and back to downward. Into three-legged, we'll raise the right leg. Touch that wall on the left with the toe. So if you look under your left armpit, you should see that right foot. So we're opening the hips again. And let's swap sides. Left leg, touch that right wall. And back to downward. So we're going to come into pigeon pose, which is a really nice hip opener. So what we do is we'll go back and we'll raise the right leg into three-legged. And then we're going to bring the knee down towards the right hand, but take the foot to the left. So I'll just get to the side, then you can see a little bit better. So this foot comes to the left hand and the knees to the right. If it feels too challenging, just bring the foot slightly towards the centre. So you're more sat on the heel. But otherwise, we want that left foot up and allow the right side, the bottom, to go down to the ground. As I say, if it feels too challenging, don't do it because it's quite tricky. So that will really open the hips. So from here, get back. We're going to bring it straight back, G downward, and onto the other side. So this time, bring the right knee to the left hand and the left foot to the right hand. So you can probably see better this time. Should have done that first time round. But there you go. So this is your pigeon pose. So keep the chest up and open. And stub that right foot. And a nice flow back to downward. So this time we're going to bring the right foot to the right hand and lunge. So both hands on the inside of the right foot, and let's circle the hips. And change direction, circle the other way. And pause. Let's turn to the left, walk the hands to the centre and into side lunge. So we're raising the toes on the left foot, so we're on the heel. So all these we're doing is to just keep the hips nice and soft and open. We don't want any stiffening of hips. Back to the front and downward. So take that tailbone nice and high and the hips back. We're doing the same on the other side, the left foot to the left hand and into lunge. Both hands on the inside of the left foot and circle. And change direction. Pause. Let's turn to the front. Walk the hands to the right, to the centre, and lift the right toes. And breathe. And back to the front. And back to downward. So downward, upward. So drop the hips, keep them square to the ground, keep the sternum high. Then we're going to drop the knees, tops of the feet on the ground, come down to the elbows and the forearms into baby cobra. So still lifting that sternum. So we're going to lift up into plank. So let's bring the hands to the sides, under the shoulders, stub the toes, and into plank. Then hold for 1 minute. If it gets too much, drop your knees and join back in. And just drop your knees and have a rest. So that's 15. So face parallel to the ground. Try and keep nice and still. If for any reason you've got a vibrate going on, you need to come out of it. It's 30. Another 20. Last 10. Drop the knees. Let's sit back into child's pose just for a moment. Because we've done quite a few back bends, so child's pose will just realign us. So let the shoulders fall apart, nice and broad. Up into tabletop, stub the toes downward Then let's walk the hands towards the feet, stay down there. So shuffle the feet till they're about hip distance apart. Make sure your heels are in line with each other. So just let the head dangle. We're just going to add a little bit of pressure. We fold the arms, put them on the base of the neck. By doing that, we're just putting a little bit more weight on the head, on that 5 kilo head. And it will just allow it to go a little bit closer to the knees. And increase that hamstring stretch. And breathe. And let's drop the arms and slowly roll up. One vertebra at a time. To standing and mountain pose. So, toes touching, let's spread the toes. A little bit of tension in the thighs because we're starting to lengthen. Lengthening up to the ceiling all the way up. Excuse me. Mula Bandha, root lock, belly button towards spine. Tighten the muscle between the front passage and the back passage. Let's open the chest, let the shoulders roll down the back. And then if we just take the hands slightly further back than the shoulders, will allow us to open the chest and lengthen even more. So just bring the hips slightly forward. Perfect posture. So this is a constant reach to the ceiling. As we inhale, can we lengthen a little bit more? And while we're here, we'll sway forwards and backwards. And back to standing. Let's reach up nice and high, keeping those hips forward, and raise the heels, not the toes, the heels. Find a little spot to focus on, stay nice and still. And we'll float the arms to the side as we keep the heels raised, lift the head. And lower all the way down. Let's come into chair. Let's stick that bottom out. And just squeeze the thighs together. And let's twist. So right arm back, look behind us. And swap sides. And again. And last time. Arms back to the front, can we sink a bit lower and float the arms down and all the way behind us. And release up. Let's just take the right foot out to the side, keeping it in line with the left one so we're not forwards or backwards. Nicely in line. Can we lift a bit higher? So we're pushing through the standing leg, lengthening all the way up to the ceiling. So use the arms for balance. And then let's bring the knee up, get hold of it, bring it nice and close to the chest, push the chest out, toes to shins and circle that foot. Spreading the toes as we go. Change direction. And then we're going to get hold of the foot at the base of the toes. We're going to bring the knees together. So you can either stay here in your mountain pose, lengthening up to the ceiling. If you want to challenge and go into dancer, we take the left arm forward, push the right shins back. Right shin, there's only one of them. So we reach in with that arm and we tip in from the hips. And release. Well done, get the legs a little bit of a shake. Before we move on to the other side, so left leg out, toes to shins, hips forward, chest open, head up, lengthen through that right leg, and breathe. Let's bring the knee up and circle the foot. And change direction. And we're going to get hold of the base of the foot. Bring the knees in line. So the knees are both touching. You can stay here if you want. Otherwise we take the right arm forward and push the left leg away. And release. Good stuff. So we're going to stretch the hamstrings even more. For warrior, we're also going to do some moon salutations or Chandra salutations. So nice wide stance, feet pointing forward. So let's widen our arms to make sure the legs are nice and wide. So we're going to bring the hands to the head and circle. This is a nice warm-up. It's good for hip mobility. So we're going left to right. So next time we're up, we'll change direction and go right to left. And up. So let's just take the feet more parallel with the mat as much as you can without falling over. We come into the squat. So when we have the feet out to the side, this is the goddess pose. So push the knees out and sink nice and low. Keep the hands eye level. You sink a little bit lower. And then reach down with one hand and up with the other. And change. So twice more on each side. Staying in the squat, we'll fold the arms and twist. And back to centre. Can we sink a little bit more and hold for 5, 4, lower, 3, 2, 1, and up. Well done. We'll go into our warrior stance. So left foot pointing forward, right foot parallel with the mat. So we'll go a little bit quicker this time. I think most of you know the warriors. If you don't, just do your best. So warrior 1, let's turn over that right thigh, arms past the ears, lunge down, So keeping the chest forward, keeping the knee over the foot, making sure you can still see the tips of the toes. Nice flow into warrior two. So chest forward, arms wide. Glance at the fingers on the right hand. Bring that right hand behind us. Clasp them, push the hands down the bottom. Really squeeze the shoulders. Fold from the hips. Right shoulder to right knee. Then arms to the ceiling. And release down and up. Keeping in the lunge. Do two-handed reverse. So hands together. Clasp the thumbs across each other. Take the palms of the hands up to the ceiling. Round the arms around the face and drop the head back. And release down. Well done, we'll go straight onto the other side. So left foot parallel. Just angle the right foot in slightly. Give you better balance. Let's twizzle over the left leg. And warrior one. So make sure you're not overextending the lunge. And keeping the chest nice and square. And warrior two. Into humble, push them down the back, fold from the thighs, from the waist, left shoulder to left knee, and then arms to the ceiling. Drop the arms, come up, keeping that lunge, and then reverse two-handed warrior. And release. Come to the front, either step the feet together or jump to about hip distance apart, and we'll do some moon salutations. So these are not as energetic as some salutations, it's more of a cooling down, so we do them quite slow. So first of all, crescent moon. So let's just take the hands up to the ceiling. You can either interlock the fingers and push up, or you can come into prayer, it's up to you. And we're going to go over to the left, push that left foot into the ground, and over to the right, same thing, push the right foot down, and left again, and right. And back to centre. So we want the wide feet again. So moon salutations. So make sure you've got your nice posture. Your shoulders are falling down the back, hips slightly forward. A nice wide stance. Then we do moon above. So we circle the arms to create that globe. And then we fall down to moon below. Feeling the hamstring stretch, letting the hands and the head go quite close to the ground. And then back up to moon above. And back down to moon below. And let's come up into triangle. So let's turn that right foot forward. First of all, we're going into side angle. So we want to lunge on that right knee. Once again, check it's over the foot and you can still see the toes. You can take the right hand down, or we can rest on it on the knee. It's up to you. But then we want the chest forward and the left arm up and then past the ear. So keep the hips forward. Imagine somebody's pulling your left hip back. And then we're going to come up into triangle, and then we're going to go into pyramid rather than reverse triangle. So nice wide arms. Let's reach forward with the right arm and up with the left, keeping the chest open. So it doesn't matter how far down the leg you are, you want both palms facing forward, and then we're going to come into pyramid. So we drop the left hand down to the mat if you can, onto the leg if you can't go that far. So we take the right arm, the right hand on the right side, the left hand on the left side. And from here, we're going to bring the chin up and straighten the back. So you might have to take your arms up a little bit, and then we relax down and round the back, let the head drop towards the shin. Then back up into a flat back, and then all the way up onto the other side. So left foot parallel, so side angle first. Oh no, what to do is moon salutations. So moon above, nice and round, big moon, and moon below. Stretching those hamstrings, let the head drop. Back to moon above, and moon below. And then up into side angle now. Left foot pointing forward, little lunge. Take the left arm down, the right arm up, and then all the way past the ear. Imagine somebody's pulling the right hip back, keeping the hips square. And up into triangles, straight arms this time. Let's reach forward with the left palm, up with the right hand. So don't worry if your hand is not near the floor, but sometimes what I see people doing is bending forward to get the hand down. You don't want to be bending forward. So triangle, pyramid even, right hand to the ground, left hand on the other side, come up into a flat back, relax down into the round, let the head drop, back up to the flat, all the way up. We'll finish with moon again. So moon above, keep the hips forward, moon below, moon above, and moon below. Let's come up. We're going to do some lunging. So we want the left foot parallel with the mat. We're going to bring the right foot onto the toe, tips of the toe. So the right foot will be slightly nearer towards the middle of the mat than the left one. Take the arms by the side, and then we're going to just lunge on that front knee. Once again, we're not overextending, so we need the right leg quite far back, and we're going to drop the right knee and up. We're going to do 10. That's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. On the last one, hold, keeping that right knee near the ground. Let's take the hands to the left knee and breathe. We're going to snap the feet so they're next to each other. And with the same leg, the right leg, come into warrior 3. So take that right leg back and take the arms forward. And release down, nice and slow. Well done, lunging on the other side. Step the left foot back. So make sure your lunge is nice and wide. Arms by the side, chin up, and we're dropping the left knee for 10. Two more. And hold with the knee near the ground. Bring the hands to the front knee and breathe. And feet together. Whew, it's warm. So let's make our way down. Let's get to the back of the mat. Feet hip distance apart. Make sure your heels are in line with each other. And just gently roll down one vertebra at a time. Let the head hang. Should be looking through the legs to the back of the room. Make sure you've still got the root lock. We don't want the stomach muscles dangling about. And breathe. Let's walk out. Last time to plank. So we're just going to lower onto the mat. So make sure you've got your nice strong plank first. You can either drop the knees or go through chaturanga. We come up onto the toes, push the shoulders forward, put the bend, and lower down. In one movement. So just relax the top of the feet on the ground. Let's relax the head and look to the right. Look to the left. Head to centre. Let's just lift the chest off the ground a little bit. And then we're going to take the arms behind us. You can clasp them together, push them down the bottom, squeeze the shoulders, then bring alternate hands to the front. So right hand, back, and left hand, and back. So keep going, keeping the palms facing down. Let's keep both hands forward. Lift the legs into our Superman. So try to get the thighs to come off the ground. Then we'll take the arms by the side, which will allow the chest to lift and to locust. So we're reaching towards the feet with the hands. And release. Well done. Before we come onto our backs, we're going to come up into standing camel. So we want to be up on the thighs, on the knees. Let's stub the toes so the heels are not as far away. And if you remember, or if you don't, if you're new, beginner's camel, we fold the arms behind us, we take the hips forward, round the chest to the ceiling, and drop the head. Otherwise, we take the right arm, make a big circle onto the right heel, and then the left. Same thing, chest forward, drop the head. And up, and all the way down onto our backs. And a little bit of abdominal work. This is usual, it's gone really fast. So, let's get onto our backs, point the toes away, creating a little bit of tension in the thighs. Take the arms up to the ceiling and all the way behind us onto the floor. Palms facing, slide the hands along the ground and tighten the abdominals. We're going to float the arms down to the side of us, palms facing down. We're going to lift both legs up to the ceiling. So the lower spine should flatten into the mat, relax the shoulders, curling the toes back and pushing the heels up to the ceiling. And we're going to start to slowly lower until we find that pinch point in the lower abdominals. And when we do, we're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower a little bit more. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2. Then we're going to lower not quite to the ground, about 6 inches above the ground. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all the way down. Whew. So let's bring the knees up into tabletop or reverse tabletop. So the knees want to be over the hips, feet in line with the knees. We're going to do dead bug. So we start with the arms up and we drop in alternate arm and leg. So we drop the right arm and the left leg and back. Right leg, left arm and back. So we've got a minute, keep going. So we're not going all the way to the ground. Let's get into a nice flow. That's 15. That's 30. Another 15. Last 5. And relax. Let's bring the knees to the chest. Give them a little bit of a hug. Now we're just going to start to slow down. So just keep the right knee in. Let's lengthen the left leg. So curl those toes to shins. Still allow the shoulders to relax, face soft. Gently pull that knee to the chest. Pushing the back of the left knee into the ground. And breathe. And we'll stretch that left glute, so drop the right knee down, left leg over, and right knee back. So clasp the hands around the right thigh only, not around the left leg as well, just the right thigh. As we inhale, pull that knee nice and close. And swap sides, left knee in and right leg out. Bringing the left knee in, pushing the back of the right knee into the ground. And let's drop the left foot, right leg over and left knee back. And both feet onto the ground near the bottom, knees together. We're going to take the arms over to the left and knees to the right. I'm going to look to the left. So try and get a nice twist in the waist. Allow the knees to go to the ground. Look to the left. Next exhale, we'll swap. So arms to right and knees to the left. And once more. And last time, knees left. And we'll finish with bound angle. So bring the knees up, keep the feet nice and close to the bottom, but we're going to take the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall wide. So right knee goes to the right and left knee goes to the left. So try and keep the feet as close as you can to the bottom unless it's painful around the hips. If so, just slide the feet away. So let's just rest the palms of the hands on the thighs. You can add a little bit of pressure if you wish. Start to slow the breath down. And when you're ready, you can move into Shavasana. So you can either stay in bound angle, or you can slide the feet out and just let them collapse on the ground. So while we're just laying here, just have a quick body scan, make sure you're not holding any tension anywhere. If you are, release it. And just let those feet flop to the side. We'll have the palms facing up so the fingers can just naturally curl. So just imagine the body weighs twice as much as normal, let it sink into the mat. Let the face become soft as the eyebrows fall apart. Nice natural breath. So I want you to start bringing your awareness back to your own body. Just be aware of how it feels. And now we've realigned it, rebalanced it, stretched it out, strengthened it. And then be aware of the room and your surroundings, where you are in the house, any noises, any sounds. And gently start to move. Either have a stretch or wiggle your hands and feet. And when you're ready, just bring your knees to chest. Have a little rock from side to side. And then let both knees fall to one side. Follow with the hands and gently come up to seated. And namaste, everybody.